Weather is really our big story today here, folks, so we want to go ahead and hand it right over to Christina as we watch kind of two separate things here, Christina, when it comes to rain.
Yeah, we've been harping on this for several days now. I want to say about 6 or 7 days out that we've been tracking this, and really not a whole lot has changed with the forecast here. We're still on track for those storms to have the severe weather potential this evening and not so much this morning. The one thing that has kind of changed here is the Storm Prediction Center did back up this level 3 of 5 severe weather potential to southern Indiana as well. The last update, which was late last night, just included southern Indiana on the level 2 of 5, but has now seen that the atmosphere is a little bit juicier and has that potential, greater potential, I should say, to produce those strong and severe storms, including southern Indiana. No matter where you're at, then you are under some sort of threat, we should say, for those storms to turn strong to potentially severe, with large hail up to about golf ball size, damaging wind up to about 70 miles per hour, and also tracking that isolated tornado threat. So let's look at what we're seeing on the radar right now as these storms have really started to organize and formed a line over the last hour or so, and at this point formed over Bedford, stretching down to Corydon, Indiana, Brandenburg, and moving past you folks in Hardinsburg. And it's lighting up the sky quite a bit with all of that lightning, also kicking up our winds and bringing briefly heavy rainfall. Still not expecting these storms to become severe, though, even though they could be on the strong side due to all that lightning that we're seeing. It'll be over Salem pretty much, well, right in the next couple of minutes here. It's right closer to Fort Knox around 7:40 and then 7:52. If you're watching from E-Town, you have about 20 to 25 minutes until you start really seeing that sky light up. So here we go into our high-res futurecast into we'll call it mid-morning. This morning we should start to dry out and see the sunshine outside, and that's going to be warming us up into the lower 90s. So it's going to be a very warm and dry afternoon for us, but don't let that fool you, because even though we're going to see plenty of sunshine, it's actually not going to do us any good, because that fuels the storms that get going later on. The timing here will be after 6 o'clock tonight. We start to get some of these nasty storms going, especially on the Kentucky side. That continues into about 11 o'clock this evening. So primary timing, we're going to say from 5 to 11 o'clock tonight. You need to make sure that you're staying weather aware and have several ways to receive alerts. Should dry out into the overnight hours and staying quite mild as we do so. Again, the main threats here, can't harp on this enough, damaging wind, large hail are the main things we're paying attention to, and the most widespread threats. However, that isolated tornado is still going to be a possibility, as well as heavy rainfall. Temperatures outside right now hovering around 70 in most locations. A little bit cooler if you're in Bardstown, Kentucky. And on your 7-day forecast, we are going to cool off a little bit for our Monday and Tuesday, down into those lower 80s with a little bit of lingering wind Monday and Tuesday as well. By Wednesday, we're still holding on to those middle 80s and returning to the 90s for those final days of the month of June.